because I feel like I have to. You know, slavery, it was a malicious thing. It was crazy what they did to our bodies, but the worst part is the lasting effect it had on our minds. I understand my ancestors trying to make a life for themselves, get a little normalcy, you know, stay sane in insanity. Because every time they tried to get away, they were hunted like elk, stripped of dignity, hung up with the pride of red, white, and blue, or beaten black and blue and hung up like end of conversation. This is the end of the conversation of liberty and justice for all. I know they got tired of taking them L's, even more tired of staying the same. So they added their 2 cents, and the first 48 decided that they were going to get free or die trying, refusing to let the weight of curse words from a wannabe master weigh on another generation. They said those chains they would break through so that they cannot break you or us. But why does their bondage from freedom carry the same sense as my barrier from the grave? Maybe it's because I understand those slaves that stayed in captivity when everyone around them was fleeing and escaping. Because I too fear leaving the life and sin that I know so well. I imagine we carry the same last name as the Israelites that came before us. You know, this master gives me sleeps and this sin gives me eats. And Moses, I don't understand this plan for freedom that you have. But there is stability here. I imagine it takes fear and logic to stay. It certainly makes it easier to justify fear with logic. Subjugation doesn't always look like ransack in the village and slapping shackles on every native in the vicinity. Sometimes it is the art of illusion, of making everything around you seem so comforting and good until the scales close in around you and then life as you know it is squeezed out of you. What kind of slave are you? Are you the understanding slave? Always justifying your sin? Master. You say things like, this is how it's always been. This is normal. This is natural. I must test drive her before I take her on the race. If I do not like how she rides, then how do I know we can cross the finish line together? Has sin made you lazy? The thought of giving it all up is just so much work, and that outweighs your disdain and complacency of staying the same. Are you conflicted? You know it's wrong, but it feels right. And now you're caught up in this ugly love triangle where you got weed leaning on comfort, being held up by fear. There you are being boxed out, just left on the outside hanging until there's nothing left but this cycle. Get high, buy pie, tie your noose. I know you want to be free. But I also know that sin has given you the brick and mortar to finally craft this castle around your heart. There you lie on the inside trying to scale the wall. But the moment you make it to the top and try to jump over, a ball and chain sends you crashing right back down to the bottom, having you feeling like these walls have never seen breakthrough. This is all a part of the plan so that you don't get your breakthrough. Again, I know you desperately want to be free, but I also know that your cell got cushions and kush on trays, and you can moonwalk with this melanated bottle of Johnny Walker that makes your current location seem more vacation, less like incarceration. But send him your location, and I'm sure he'll open the floodgates, and then he will let the water surround you before the waves sweep you away. He will part the sea, meet you in the thick of your nakedness. He will wash your body, he will wipe your feet, and then he will cleanse your soul. Then he will demolish your tomb, kiss your wound, blow the dust off of your gift, plant new ones right next to it, and then he will impart on you affection that you have never felt before. And then he will fasten your armor, place a sword in your hand. He will put you right back down on that plantation with everything that was meant to break you, and he will say you are equipped with everything in your power to break through. But make sure you tell everyone where you are going before you leave. Some will come with you, and some won't. But let them know they do not have to choose bondage anymore. So now I want you to imagine that freedom tastes like your last meal on death row once you have come to terms with the fact that you have to die and the weight of your crimes, with peace in knowing that there are no bars where you are going from here. You will be your own executioner, only to be brought back to life by a God that has been waiting oh so patiently. And when you come face to face with this apparition of yourself, you will say, toss me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped ship because they knew that death was better than bondage, to a life that had me living far below the price that my God felt my freedom was worth. And it will be a glorifying death. And then like dust, you will rise. And then your body will immediately collapse. It may feel like a panic attack. I assure you it's not. It's just like you. Your lungs have been operating out of crooked figures. Sin disfigures you, and the moment you try to walk upright, the air fills your body. Lungs have never felt oxygen in its full capacity. The freedom will literally take your breath away and give it right back. along with your desire for security. You will no longer try to make that for yourself. You will understand your destination is already set. You will no longer try to control all the details and things that happen to you. You will understand that everything you endure on this process will be worth it. You will no longer carry your scars like it is a scarlet letter. You will be able to walk out of your tomb and your cell and burn it to the ground without giving a second thought to what was lost in the fire. And as for me, I will be able to pass a cotton field and not imagine my people picking it. Translation, I will be able to come in contact with my trauma and not relive it. I will no longer feel like I'm just surviving faith. I will take a deep dive into a love that knows no depths. And then, when wisdom speaks to me, I will actually be able to listen. I will be able to approach the throne with confidence and my sin. Without it, there will be no need for me to have a Savior that sacrificed everything just to prove to me that I was worth so much more than what I was currently settling for. And then we will be grateful for our lives and everything that happened in it that seemed like it was trying to break us. And at that moment, we will experience breakthrough. There was a town in Louisiana in recent years where a population of its people were still slaves. And they found out what we all knew for almost a century now, that we were free. And I wonder what they did when they found out they didn't have to be slaves anymore. Thank you.